And why the name Alchemy Coffee?
Eric Spivak, the founder and owner of Alchemy, started or named it Alchemy, and the reason is just kind of we take a approach really based in chemistry, and we really think that coffee is chemistry, and so it's kind of like a play on words and process. You know, really trying to make our coffee liquid gold, kind of. So play on the old alchemy, the old practice of alchemy.
Okay, and how do you think it's an alchemy?
How is it an alchemy?
How do you think the coffee is related to like the process of making alchemy or?
Well, I mean, alchemy in and of itself is really was an attempt by several Enlightenment thinkers and different scientists and intellectuals to basically try and find precious metals through basic earth elements. So, I mean, we're not literally doing that, but we are kind of comparing it metaphorically, maybe through coffee. I mean, coffee is our earth, grows here on earth, and we're trying to make the best possible liquid out of it. So, just kind of taking an approach through a lab.
Okay, and does it play at all with the alchemy between people, or is it?
I'm not really familiar with alchemy between people.
Okay, sounds good. So who usually comes here? Or what people come here usually, like students or?
Yeah, I mean, we operate heavily with VCU. So students primarily, I would say students and professors, heavy, our biggest demographic. But also, I mean, we have people that just love coffee. I feel like we have a big following of people that feel like we do a really good cup of coffee, so we get those people. Travelers, we get a lot of stuff off of Yelp and people coming through town hoping to find a good cup of coffee. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of typical in that way. Usually people that are coming in know what they want to some degree. Some people don't, and it's really our goal and job all the way across the board to educate people.
Okay, cool. And what are your best times during the week, economically?
Best times during the week? I mean, typically at this location, I would say probably Monday, Tuesday, varying depending on what's going on at VCU. Obviously, at exam times, we're a little bit more busy than we normally be. Crunch time for people depends on what kind of classes they have. I think we tend to be a good mix of students, and locals. So it just really depends. Saturday is a big day for us elsewhere in the city, where we have the farmers market that we get to. A lot of times we have events that we're doing. So, but here in the coffee shop, I would say it's pretty much steady throughout the week, and maybe with a little bit of a jump on Monday and Friday.
And do you think that the ambiance and commercial success are correlated?
Yeah, I definitely would say that they at least go hand in hand. If we didn't, I think if we hadn't paid too much attention to our actual environment that we're trying to create, that we might not have as much success. I know for Eric, a big thing was really just being able to have a functioning lab feel, while at the same time creating like a somewhat of a comfortable work environment as well. So I definitely think that plays a role. When people come in and they see our countertops and they're really cool, like composite wood, and a lot of the stuff that we've had done was done by just a couple people that really have a really creative mind. So it kind of helps draw people back. So.
And can you tell me more about the comfortable work environment?
Well, specifically, what would you like to know about it? Yeah, I mean, I feel like we have a lot of people that, just since we are a part of the VCU space, we have a lot of people from VCU that will just jump right next door because it's kind of less sterile than a classroom per se, but it's not quite as homey as their house. So it's kind of like a mixture, like a nice in between for people.
Okay, cool. And how do you differentiate from bars that only have alcohol, for example, or bars that sell both alcohol and food?
Well, I mean, it's just a different environment. We typically function in the earlier part of the day. I mean, that's our heaviest times are like early morning to early afternoon. So, I mean, whereas obviously bars are typically later when people get off of work. And also typically caffeine is associated with stimulation in terms of brain activity, so people get a lot more done when they're drinking caffeine as opposed to alcohol. So, but as far as environment, I think it would differ like night and day compared to like a restaurant, a full like beer and alcohol restaurant. Eric has made mention before of alcohol potentially being offered in the future, but that's like not something that is happening at the moment. But yeah, as far as differentiation, it just kind of speaks for itself.
Okay. And how often do you have music, and what kind of music do you play?
We have music, I mean, every day. We kind of leave it up to whoever is on the register. It's our rule, like whoever is on register gets to pick the music. So as long as it's not something that's too poppy or too conventional, we pretty much have free reign.
Okay, and what playlist do you usually play? Or is it personal, broadcasted, phone
Yeah, we
application?
don't really have a playlist. We operate off of Spotify, so we just kind of pick and choose whatever you feel like hearing.
Do you ever have live music?
I think we have had live music once or twice, but it's not something we have at the moment. We don't really have space for it.
Okay. And can I ask you more about your background, like your education, if you lived in Richmond?
Sure.
What's your relationship with coffee?
I started making coffee in college. I went to Berklee College of Music in Boston and started doing coffee there part-time, and I've been doing it ever since. I helped start a coffee shop in Hampton. Who was Eric's first employee here at Alchemy about 3 years ago. Just helped him run the coffee cart when we opened this up about a year ago. I've been playing music since I was about 12. And I love music, I love coffee. I think they both go hand in hand. There's something about the environment that has been created in the last 20 years that, at least in this country, that really promotes, people like to gather over coffee, and I feel like musicians like coffee more than a lot of other people. So I don't know why that is. I can't begin to speculate on it, but I know from personal experience that I love both. So
Great. And if you don't mind telling me a little bit about your musical background.
A musical background? I picked up drum set when I was 12 years old. Picked up guitar when I was about 17. And then piano when I was about 19. And I've been just kind of arranging, writing my own songs and playing with other people since then. So as far as background goes, I went to Berklee in 2006 and studied contemporary writing and production of music. Had an amazing time, and moving out to Los Angeles in about 5 months to further pursue music endeavors. Yeah, drum set is my principal, but I write and play for various other things.
That's really cool. Well, thank you so much for participating in this interview.
For